Hi there, it's Anne of Rosie Duck Designs here. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. So I'm back with the third and final design from the Sentimental Rose card kit. So I've got the instructions in front of me here, and we're going to use this piece of the card. This is one of the card fronts, which we haven't used so far. We've got another corrugated piece of card, but this one's an oblong rather than having this shape as we used on the previous card. And we've got this die cut little label that we're going to use for our sentiment. So I have took my own advice and stuck some glue dots on before we started. So we needed 4 glue dots on here. It says we need 2 on here, but because it's quite large I've actually gone for 3. And then we're going to use 2 of the stamping dimensionals for the sentiment, but I will stick that on obviously once I've stamped the sentiment. There's no twine for this one, so that's the good news. So I'm going to put that out of the way, and this is the card design that we're going to use. So once again, I'm going to fold it, I'm going to burnish it. Not essential, but if you've got a bone folder then by all means do use it. But I'm then going to open it up again because it's that much easier to work with. Now the stamping element for this particular card is going to go in this area where the card is plain, leaving us the green and yellow shading over here. So we're once again using the rose, and if you notice it's not a full stamp. So again, if you've not got a grid paper or a craft mat, you can come back to your spare piece of card that comes in the kit and just stamp off your image using that. So get my rose, put that in the centre of my block and ink it up with my little ink spot. Now the brilliant thing obviously with this kit is that once you've made up all the cards, the ink spot will still have ink on it, so you can still use that. But even more so, you will have this lovely photopolymer stamp set that you can carry on using for all sorts of different projects. So I'm going to stamp this over here in the corner. And I want to clean the stamp off because I now will need to put the leaves on. So again, as I mentioned in the previous videos, a piece of damp kitchen towel or a baby wipe is perfect for just cleaning your stamps off. And let's grab the leaves. So according to the picture, we've got some leaves coming out here and some leaves going down here. Now I did make mention of the fact that this block that comes with this kit is the same size as a D block, and I did say that there was going to be some additional information about that I was going to share with you. Now Stampin' Up do what is called a kit subscription called Paper Pumpkin, but it is only available in North America, so it's a monthly kit subscription. But periodically throughout the other markets of Stampin' Up we get a release of a Paper Pumpkin card kit, and that's exactly what's going to be happening in August. Now the kit, to keep the cost down, doesn't include a block. So the good news is that if you buy one of these kits and then the new Paper Pumpkin kit takes your fancy, then you'll already have had this size block to hand ready to use with the Paper Pumpkin kit. Now I can't say too much more about it at the moment, but I do know it's an absolutely fabulous kit, very pretty, and personally I can't wait to get my hands on it. Unusually most things as demonstrators we can get before they're actually released, but Paper Pumpkin is not one of those things, so I've got to wait for the actual release date before I can order mine. But seriously, I don't think you're going to be disappointed, but obviously nearer the time I will be sharing details of that on my blog, so keep an eye on that. So I'm now, having done my stamping, just taking off the covers on my glue dots. There's always one that fights back. There we go. Now the instructions here show that it goes in the corner. Obviously the choice is yours, and I actually did a version where I didn't put it in the corner. But if we're going to go for the corner, we want to line it up with the central fold, and then we'll work your way down the edge. So we don't want it going over the fold, because then we won't be able to fold the card properly. So that looks about right. There we go. So the next thing is the little piece of corrugated card, and that's going to go somewhere over here. Again, I'll peel the backs off of these glue dots. It saved a bit of time, not a lot, but it did save a bit. So let's put that over there. And we need a sentiment. Now, as with the picture here, I'm going to go with the best wishes sentiment. It's always a nice handy little sentiment to have on a card. And I'm just going to grab one of these . And put that in the middle. Now we need the two stamping dimensionals to stick that on to the card. Now the idea being that you layer it on top of here. So again, as I mentioned in the first card, when we use this little extra layer, it can cause a problem if your stamping dimension is on a lower piece of card and then a higher piece of card. It kind of gives it that sort of rocking sensation in a way. So although it says stick it like that, just my personal tip would be to actually cut each stamping dimensional in half. Slightly more fiddly, but I personally think it's worth the effort. So making sure we've got it the right way up. Now put those half stamping dimensionals along the top here. Just so that they can't be seen. Preferably straight would be good. It's very, very hot at the moment. I think everything is sticking to everything. So I'm just going to put that one along there. And then I'm going to cut this other one. Probably get away with 3 if I'm honest. 3 bits, but then what do you do with the other half? Just want to make sure that it's not showing over the top. That one is very slightly, so I'm just going to move it down. So yeah, I'm happy with that, so I'm just going to take the backs off, and that just gives me all this area here to play with to overlap this layer, which is higher than the base layer. There we go. So we're just going to get that somewhere in the centre there, and you can just move it up, checking underneath there, and those stamping dimensionals are flush against this piece of card. Well, they were till I moved it. They are once again. So just pressing that down, that is nicely layering over this bottom piece of card, and there's no rocking, it's stuck solidly to this bottom piece. So we're going to then just finish that off with 3 dimensionals. So one of these big ones, bend this plastic backing that they're attached to, and that makes them come off a lot easier. And we have a little one over there, and then finally there's one there actually on the picture, but do you know what, I'm going to go down here, let's be a little bit different. So that is our final design of the card. Now this is the one I made earlier, if I can find it. There we go. So with this one I just put it in the centre, which I quite liked. I thought that was quite nice. So you can just vary it, and I've obviously used here the congratulations stamp rather than the best wishes. So this is a guide, but obviously you can do your own thing with it and just make something a little bit different, so each of your 3 cards can stand out as being a little bit different. So I'm just going to clear the decks now, and I'll be back to finish off this kit with the little gift box that comes with it. So just very quickly before we get on to the gift box, this is the card that I made earlier, and I just thought I would share the Wink of Stella with you because I've been going on about it, as I do in all my videos, if I'm honest. But basically I just wanted to show you how easy it is to use. So whether you wanted to use it with this kit or you wanted to treat yourself to use it on something else, you know, whatever stamping projects you're doing, but it is literally as easy as this. Is a brush and the liquid comes down the barrel, and you're just adding it over the top. Because it's such a large image, I'm not even being that careful, but obviously with the brush it enables you to be really careful and just pick out small areas if you actually want to. So that was that. I'm not sure if the light is going to show us much now, if I'm honest, but yeah, hopefully you're picking that up. So again, £7.50, as I mentioned in the previous video, is not a great deal of money, but the extra effect it gives you on your cards is absolutely brilliant. So finally we have a gift box in this particular kit. So I've not been able to try this because there is only one gift box. What I do know is that it comes with a protective layer or covering, so you need to make sure that you remove that before you do anything, and you need to sort of just fold it into shape. And the purpose of the box is that you could use it to make the cards up and give them as a gift to somebody, or you could just use the little box as a gift box for something else. So it is acetate, so it's going to fight back, if I'm honest. And I'm just sort of trying to put this together quickly for this video. If you're struggling to keep the end in like so, I personally would just stick a tiny bit of sellotape on there just to hold it in place. Of course I didn't bring any of that in, so, but we'll just imagine. Actually that end is now fitting quite nicely. It really is just a case of just manoeuvring it into position. Obviously we want the box to be strong. There we go. So it comes with a belly band, so we need to fold that in the direction of the fold, so it's coming inwards because we want the corrugated side to be shown. So you've got your folds there, so just fold them, make sure they're nice and tight, and then you've got your sticky area here that is going to stick it all together. So taking our box, and that's going to be the back of it because that's where the lid comes up. So I'm going to keep the front bit here nice and without any join. So that's nice and tight around. So just got to pull this bit off. Obviously make sure that it's straight when you push it down. So it won't fall off the box, but you can move it if you want to. Let me just get these cards down that we've already made. So I've got the 6 cards that I've put together so far. You can see that they will fit really nicely into the box. I'm guessing there's actually a bit of movement going on with this video, so I do apologise if anybody's feeling seasick at this point. But there we go. So they fit in there very nicely. We do have some twine, so we've got some instructions here. So it's telling me that I need 12 inches of twine, but I'm going to go again with a bit longer. So I'm going to go with probably nearer 18, because I'm seriously going to need more than that to actually make it look anything worth having. So we're going to tie it into a knot here, and then we're going to do some stamping because we've got these 2 little labels here, and we're going to use For You. It was on there somewhere. So there's our little ink spot. Pick that up. Point of your scissors or a paper piercer, just take out that little cut out bit where the thread will go through, and we just want to stamp that into the centre of the little label. And then we can just thread that through on the baker's twine. And then another little knot, I think, will secure that quite nicely. And then a bow. Tidying up my edges. To move that slightly around the side there. Then we've got this die cut element of the little rose and the two little leaves, and they just pop out. Now they're saying that we put them on with glue dots. I've only got one shot at this because, as I say, there is only one one gift box in here. My personal thought is that that would actually look even better with some stamping dimensionals, and it would really look nice with some Wink of Stella. So I'm going slightly off piste here, but I'm going to add my Wink of Stella to my rose. It will look absolutely fine without Wink of Stella. It will look absolutely fine with it being attached with glue dots, but I just think that this is a personal thing, but when something is kind of the star of the show, so to speak, I don't know if we're actually seeing the shimmer on there, but when it's sort of for me, that's the main event, that rose. So I think that requires a little bit more of a statement. So I'm going to go with stamping dimensionals, but you can follow the kit, of course. But as much as these kits are, you've got everything you want, it is also about your own creativity. So you don't have to sit there and follow it to the letter. So I'm going to put my rose roughly there. So then I want to glue dot my leaves. So I'll go for one there. If I can find my glue dots. There they are. So we said about there. And then we want the other one coming down here. So another glue dot on the back of the leaf. I'm just going to turn that round so that I can more or less get this in the area that I actually want it. There we go. So I can push that down It's quite a good idea having something in the box because it just gives it that little bit more sturdiness. So now we can take off the back of the stamping dimensionals. Make sure you're happy with where the rose is before you push it down. And there you have your completed gift box. As I say, personally I would finish that off with a little bit of sellotape on either end when you've filled it. It just makes sure that the ends don't pop out. But there we are, that is our gift box complete. Let's just clear all this debris away. So we've got our gift box, and then we had our cards that were in here. If I can now get them out. There we are. So there's another three cards to be made up, but just give you an idea of how much you are actually getting in the kit. So there we go, that's what we've made so far. So I hope that's been of some interest to you. These kits are absolutely brilliant and they're perfect to just do as they are, make up as they are, or just add your own little twist to them. They are all available on the online shop and they will be available on a while supplies last basis. So whilst some will disappear, there will be some new kits being added. So it kind of just keeps it all nice and fresh as well. So that's quite really exciting. So I'm looking forward to seeing what else they come up with, but I've got my eye on another couple of the kits as well. So watch this space, as they say. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll be back with something else, another idea for using some products from the new catalogue. As usual, all the links will be on the front of the video, my shop, my blog, and also on the first video that I did to introduce this kit. All the links to these particular kits are on there so that you can check them all out. It's easier to see them rather than me sit here and try and describe them. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you again very soon, but until then, do look after yourselves. Bye for now.